So, John Esse's Sports Channel back again, and we're looking at the Championship relegation race. This is actually one of the most interesting relegation fights I have ever seen, and believe it, Rotherham United, we must have been in quite a few. Let's have a look at one or two of the people, the main players in this game, as we go through. Let's start with Plymouth. I mean, we just have to start with Plymouth, don't we? Let's see where they are. 23rd position with 28 points. And usually that would be 31 games, 28 points. That's relegation sort of points gathering, isn't it? However, they are 23rd. They're 1 point behind Derby in 21st. And 3 points behind Cardiff in 20th. And you have to think that, could things change? Well, all we have to do is to look at the Liverpool game. What a game. What a defensive prowess there. That was an absolutely staunch effort by the Pilgrims. And they deserved the win. They really did deserve the win. I don't think many of the fans from non-Plymouth supporters, put it that way, would say anything else. Even the Liverpool fans, probably one or two of them, would at least admit that they played a damn good game in defence and probably deserved something from it. They probably wouldn't say they deserved a win, but hey, that game was absolutely brilliant. And then we have to look at last night. Plymouth 5, Millwall 1. I really thought Millwall would have too much for Plymouth, even though they're not too good away from home at the minute. Well, they certainly weren't too good away from home today. It was a really, really good performance by Plymouth, and they certainly took Millwall apart, didn't they? I think that that was one of those games that shows that Plymouth are capable and have the ability to push all the way through the game. Look at when these goals were scored: 6 minutes, 10 minutes, 56 minutes, 53 minutes, and 86 minutes. That's showing a really good balanced game. Not like some of the teams that are around at the minute. I think it's quite prevalent certainly in League One. You've got teams that can play 35-40 minutes and then just collapse for the rest of it. This Plymouth team can play the whole 90 minutes, and for the last two games they really have. Can they keep it up till the end of the season? That would be my issue here. Can Plymouth keep this up into the end of the season? I think they can, but we've got so many other teams around them that are doing well as well at the same time that this could be a fight to the death. Let's see what the next team is before we make our decision. So we go Luton Town, 24th position after yesterday, on the bottom of the league, and the Hatters sink to the foot, having extended their winless run to 9 games. I mean, that is absolutely abysmal, isn't it? But they can play decent football, and by decent I mean mid-table Championship football. There's no reason why that team, with being in the Premier League last year, should be at the bottom of the Championship, should it? Not really. Even if you're a staunch supporter of one of the teams around Luton, you're probably still thinking, but they've got the class still in there. They still should be able to provide a damn good fight all the way through that 90 minutes with some really technical football. However, I haven't seen it. I've seen some really classy play in just one or two really good midfield passes. And I think, from me personally, I like the midfield. I think the midfield can really play some classy football. And there's some really technical players in that team in the midfield. However, I don't see it throughout the entire team. And I don't think it's very well balanced. Is that the issue? I just don't see it being quite well balanced. Sometimes I look at the team and think, well, that's a little bit lopsided to me. We're not balancing the skills and the team off well enough during the pre-game look at it, trying to work out what the game plan is and put those players on the paper to see where we're going to play them. I just don't see the balance being quite right. However, we have to look at the table, and they are bottom, 24th position, 31 points, 31 games, 27 points. That, with just 15 games to go, 45, 48 points. If they're lucky, this is going to be a high-scoring end. It does look like these teams are going to be quite high-scoring at the bottom, which brings me to what this video is about. It could be quite high-scoring, because even if they get 1 point per game for the last 15 games, 15 plus 27, 37, 38, 39, 44, 42 points. We're not talking a great deal away from the usual staying up pointage of between 47 and 50 points. Can they make that little bit of a jump and make it sort of 1.5 points per game? They quite easily couldn't they? But look at the teams above them. Plymouth doing really well. Liverpool win at home. Then they win Millwall at home. Well, don't just win them, 5-1. We're looking at the teams around them now, as well as I'm not just going to look at the teams and say, yeah, they can get out of it. We have to look at the teams around them and say, can they get out of it as well? Because they sure as hell all can't get out of it. So Luton Town, they can get out of it, but they need to be able to pick this game up a little bit, pick more points per game up, and they need to do it damn quick. Can they do it? I'm a little bit reticent on this one. I don't think Luton can, because of the teams above them are all playing quite good football. Let's move on to the next team. So we're going to go Hull City. Now, before I go into the analysis of Hull City, I just want to bring up one statistical fact. I don't really like doing statistics in here. However, Burnley have now extended their clean sheets to 10 games. 10 games, that's absolutely amazing. So to lose 2-0 away at Burnley, realistically, that game I think we can sort of wipe off, because when you're in the bottom six, as Rotherham know, things just don't go for you. And if you're going to play one of the top teams in the league, you're realistically just hoping not to get thrashed. And they did that. I think they did a good job last night, and I think that they should be proud that they didn't get absolutely whitewashed by Burnley, because they are, let's face it, they are a lower Premier League club sort of thing, whether we like it or not. So let's just, I'm just going to have a quick look, and we're going to have a quick analysis of Hull City, because this is done fly by the pants. It really is, but I do want to get it right, and I do want to analyse each team and then go through and look at everyone. So do wait for the end, because at the end we'll try and go back and revisit each one really quickly, so you can have my take on the bottom three. And I did say I don't like statistics. However, I have to look at Hull City in a little bit more wider picture, because Hull City are one of those teams, aren't they? I don't know what the fans think. Please tell me below what you think. Win against Sheffield United, and then the other games that they've lost or drawn, you think the team sometimes really plays excellent and really good quality football. I've seen some really hard tackling, but really fair tackling, and they manage to get away with it because it is really well planned. Those tackles are really well timed, well planned, great energy and great verve, and they're playing for the team, and that's what comes through from my perspective as a Rotherham fan looking at Hull City. I think that they really do give their all for the club. However, it sometimes comes into play, and sometimes they seem a little bit lackluster and just not quite putting their all into the game. So it can happen, and sometimes it doesn't. And we've seen it a little bit on and off. So let's look at it a little bit more widespread and say over a certain period. So let's look at their general points total over like the last 6 games. I think about 7 points over the last 6 games, isn't it? So that they're quite capable to me of getting more than 1 point per game. However, where are they sat? In 22nd place, equal 21st place actually. However, 1 point per game. Like I say, they're in 29 points. They've got another 15 games to go. 45, 46. This is going to be right on the very limit of staying up. Right on the very limit, isn't it? And the poor thing is that you could see Plymouth below them in 23rd on 28 points at the minute. If they keep up this momentum, can you imagine where they're going to be? They're going to do a Sheffield Wednesday or a QPR. They could quite easily do that, couldn't they? Suddenly go straight from the bottom and just pick up and end up somewhere in the mid-table, where we 6-7 wins out of 8-9, and you're thinking, what were they worried about? So Hull City have to then worry about the teams below them, because we know Plymouth are on a roll. That enthusiasm from the Liverpool game is certainly going to has taken effect. You can see by the 5-1 thrashing of Millwall last night. And Luton Town can improve. They can play good football. They've shown they can, but they just don't seem to be getting it right at the right time, which is now. So I think Hull City are certainly in a good place. They certainly can and are able to get to a sort of 47, 48 points total if they can just keep that momentum going at the same-ish sort of level. However, the fans need to be in this. They need to be in with the team. They don't need to be doing what some of our fans did when we were getting relegated and start picking on them and bullying them for being crap players. Be with the team, pull them through it, and I can see Hull possibly being able to do a good job at this and just creep out of it only by a couple of points, but I think they could do. Let's see what we think next, because we're going to go to the next team up. We're just going to do a couple, I think, and we might just add one that's in 18th place, my Portsmouth team. So I think we still need to keep those in it, don't we? Let's go Derby County. Eustace, manage your bounce. Now, people say that doesn't exist, but if you look at their results over the last 6, lose, get rid of him, draw. We're starting to see a sort of. I think it's been a better game, a better style of play since they've got rid of their manager, and I think that they are showing that they're just about capable of putting a good game together for 90 minutes. Sometimes not, but I think that they're on the whole they're playing decent football. New manager bounce, yes, absolutely, and he's done this at mid-table, and that's where Derby County at the minute need to be aiming for. Not promotion. Let's just look at the mid-table slots. Can they get to those mid-table slots? Because they're not so far at the level. The bottom 2/3 of this league division, or league, whatever you want to call it, are quite level points wise, and I think it wouldn't take too much to sort of push into that. And Eustace can do it, absolutely. Will he do it? I think that he's going to start pumping some extra points into that team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did start to do quite well over the next over the last 15 games. Where do I think they're going to end up? Well, they're on 14 games left. 32 games at the minute, 29 points. Again, you're talking the lower 40s. However, new manager, I've said I think that they could get at least 4, 5, 6 points extra there, and that again is putting them around 47, 46, 47, 48 points, and that would be something that would be damn close usually to staying up. This time with teams that we're looking at thinking, well, they're quite capable of getting 46, 47. It's going to be a lot more closer, guys. I think we could even see one of those years where you can get 50 points and get relegated again, which is amazing, isn't it? Not for the teams at the bottom, of course. Let's go Cardiff, because I think Cardiff is one that we can pretty much clear off a little bit quicker. Cardiff, for me, just haven't had it all season. They just don't seem to have that ability to light up the pitch. It's been, I mean, the Swansea win, that's a derby in itself, isn't it? So it's a local derby, 3-0 win. Anything can happen in a derby, and I think that counting that, you've got, let's make sure that we've got FA Cup in there, so you can't. In the last 5 games, they've got 3, 6, 7, 8 points in 5 games, which is pretty good. And make no bones about it, it's kept them out of that bottom 3, because had they not got 8, had they sort of been more 5 out of 5. The other team below them getting sort of 1.1, 1.2. They're actually catching you up very, very steadily. 20th position, 31 games, 31 points. Yeah, I mean, they're spot on at the minute, aren't they, for a 46-point finish. However, they are getting more than 1 point per game, so they should be finishing around 50 points. And they're pretty stable, I think, Cardiff. I think they very much could get this. They could get to that sort of 50 points, I think, quite easily. However, like I said, there are so many teams below them doing well. Where the hell do you put them? Stoke City, on the other hand, they've been up and down and up and down, and it's difficult to put them in any one place, because the defence can play really okay, or they can play really garbage, and the attack can really start pumping goals through like sweets, and then they can just seem to have an off 2 or 3 games where they just can't score for toffee. Less of the sweets. Let's have a look at Stoke City really quickly, because I want to go to Portsmouth. So Stoke City, 5 points out of 5. I can see these guys being caught up. I really can. 31 games, 32 points, 15 left, 47. Could they make 4? I mean, I think they're sort of 46 to 48 again, and this is putting them right in the mix for the relegation zone. They're going to be really pushing it. Then we go to Portsmouth, and usually you'd be looking at this and thinking, well, they played 32 games and got 33 points. They should be, because they're starting to play quite well. And they're starting to get 1 or 2 games where they play great football. And then all of a sudden they'll play 1 or 2 games, they just get trounced. And it doesn't seem to be happening for them. So how many have they got of the last 6 games? So the old Championship, 6 games, 7 points out of 6. They are capable of staying ahead, I think, of Stoke, absolutely. But will they? Well, yeah, they've got a good run in, I think, and they could actually do this. However, looking at the teams around them, or mainly below them, I think games like this next one against Oxford are absolutely critical. They need to show that they can play away from home. They're very good at home, not very good away from home. If they can start to just tick away from home, even a little bit, and just pick up that 1 or 2 wins away from home, I think that this team could quite easily make it to sort of more than that 46, 48 points, certainly. I mean, with 14 games left, even if you say, 14 points on there, you're still talking 47 points. And I think that they're sort of running, or capable of running, just over that 1 point per game. And I think that they're sort of in that 48-7 to 48 bracket. Now, let's just go into my review. So, we've got Luton Town. I don't think that they're really capable of getting 20 points from the last 15 games. I really don't. I can't see it happening. Just cannot do it. So Luton Town has to be my one to watch for the bottom three. Plymouth Argyle, I think that they're very, very up on it at the minute. They're one of the ones that could quite easily do a Sheffield Wednesday or a QPR, being near the bottom. Wednesday were at the bottom, weren't they, till Christmas? Then they won against Rotherham and went, never looked back. And I think that these could do that. Okay, so it's later than Christmas. However, it's that means that they won't get as far as Wednesday, but they will get out of that bottom three. And I think Plymouth will get out of that bottom three now. I think that they've certainly managed to recoup a little bit of confidence, well, a lot more than a little bit of confidence, haven't they? And Plymouth Argyle may be very, very confident at the minute. So confident that 5-1, wow, Millwall. I think that they could do it. I really do. Plymouth Argyle will be my one to watch to be out of that bottom three. Hull City. Now, Hull City, I can see them. They have the ability to get to that 46, 48 points. And they'll be thinking, well, if we can get there, we'll be happy because that'll be safe. Not this year. It'll be very, very difficult. So to keep Hull City in your mind, because Hull City are the first one that I'm thinking they're going to be in a fight. Derby County is a little bit different because I think Derby County will manage to just nick a little, one or two wins extra from this Eustace change right at the critical point. And by that, I mean, this isn't just critical for points. It's critical to get the fans going, get the fans excited. And once you fans start enjoying this, you can push them with the atmosphere. And you're the extra man, and you can push them out of that. But I think Derby County, to me, have made the right choice at the right time. In fact, I would have liked it a little bit earlier. I think that you should have got rid of Warren possibly when you started dropping, because we us Rotherham fans know what it's like when he drops. It doesn't seem to get that morale back, and he didn't. So I think that you've done it at the right time, possibly a little bit late, but I think you'll manage to get just above 1 or 2 points above the bottom three, but you'll be damn close. Then we look at Cardiff City and Stoke, and I think those two are really turning around. I think Cardiff City can do this, and they can probably get 1 or 2 points more, but can they get more than that 46, 47 points? And I'm just a little bit worried that they can't. So I'm sort of pondering over the Cardiff City and Stoke City remit. I think Portsmouth are out of it. I think Portsmouth will, if they can win against Oxford or get a point against Oxford, I think that they'll be happy. And I think that Portsmouth will just about scrape it with one of Stoke or Cardiff. So I'm going to go that we still need another two. I'm going to go with Cardiff and Stoke, actually. I mean, we've got Hull City, Cardiff and Stoke, who I'm not quite confident of being out of it. And it's going to be really, really difficult to decide, because I'm doing this off the cuff, because I wanted to look at it as you would if you were looking at the league. So here we go. Drum roll, please. I think we're going to have Luton Town in bottom position. I can't really see them getting out of it. I think Plymouth are going to be up and gone. So in 23rd position, do we reckon that's going to be Hull City? It could very well be. We're going to have a very, very close 23rd and 22nd position. So who's going to be in that fight for 23rd, 22nd and 23rd and 21st and staying out of the bottom three? I think Hull City will be in that bottom three. In fact, I think Hull City will possibly be 23rd by the end of it, because Derby County directly above them. I think they're going to get a lot more from and a lot more points from the Eustace bringing in than we think, and I think that it won't just be a small manager bounce. I think this is going to be a really good decision by the board of Derby. Cardiff City, I think they can, and they've shown that they can get off the bottom and ride up very, very nicely. Their points total now is getting quite good per game. I think it's 7 points out of 5, isn't it, or something like that? Yeah, 7 points out of 5, which is really good, and I think that they can actually continue that through the rest of the year, and I think that they'll be somewhere just outside that bottom three, but only by about a point or two. So at the minute we've got Luton, and then we've got Hull City just above them, and we're saying that Derby County can get out of it. We're saying Cardiff can get out of it. Stoke City then have to be the ones for me to drop back down, and Portsmouth unfortunately have to be one for me that drop back down the league table. So I think that at bottom it's going to be Luton Town. I think that in 22nd it's possibly going to be Hull City, but this is going to be one of the tightest bottom ends of the Championship. I think it's going to be on record. And above Hull City, I think I'm going to go with Stoke City. Surprisingly enough, lots of people actually put Stoke City in their bottom three in the beginning, middle of August with their pre-predictions. And I think you're going to be right. I think that Stoke City will be sat in that 22nd slot with just above them in 21st. I just think that Portsmouth have the ability to get enough points to stay out of it right until the end, and I think Portsmouth and Cardiff will be pretty close, directly above them. Derby County and are probably going to be well gone. Plymouth, I think, will be well gone by then, and I just can't. It's going to be a really, really, really close game, isn't it? We've got at the minute we've got an obvious selection of all the way up to from 24th to up to 18th, and any of those 7 teams could be in the bottom three, absolutely. But I think we've got certain teams that are on an upward trajectory and certain ones on a downward one. This is John Esser Sports Channel giving you a little bit of an insight into this difficult relegation battle. And it really is a battle at the bottom of the Championship. And I think it's going to be one hell of a year. And I'm glad we're not in it. So John Esser Sports Channel over and out. Please like and subscribe, share if you can. Please do like and subscribe. We do need a few more. It is a little bit of fun, but it has a bit of seriousness to it as well. So don't dislike me offhand and just give me a thumbs down and move on. Give me a comment down below. We started to get more comments, and I really do like them. I really do appreciate it. So please do like, subscribe, give me a comment. John Esser Sports Channel over and out.